This is an excerpt from the 50th Law, written by Robert Greene and 50 Cent. In such an atmosphere, we all pay a price when it comes to the offensive side of power, in which we are required to take forceful and necessary action to advance our interests. We are often hesitant and uncertain when dealing with the aggressors and passive aggressors around us. We can be quite naive. We want to believe that people are basically peaceful and desire the same things as ourselves. We often learn too late that this is not the case. This inability to deal with what is inevitable in life is the cause of so many problems. We work to postpone or avoid conflict, and when they reach a point where we can no longer play such a passive game, we lack the experience and habit of meeting them head on. The first step in overcoming this is to realize the ability to deal with the conflict is a function of inner strength versus fear. And that has nothing to do with goodness or badness. When you feel weak and afraid, you have the sense that you cannot handle any kind of confrontation. You might fall apart or lose control or get hurt. Better to keep everything smooth and even. Your main goal then is to be liked, which becomes a kind of defensive shield, which so much of what passes for good and nice behavior is really a reflection of deep fears. What you want instead is to feel secure and strong from within. You are willing to occasionally displease people, and you are comfortable in taking on those who stand against your interests. From such a position of strength, you are able to handle friction in an effective manner, being bad when it is appropriate. The inner strength, however, does not come naturally. What is required is some experience. This means that in your daily life you must assert yourself more than usual. You must take on an aggressor instead of avoiding him. You strategize and push for something you want instead of waiting for someone to give it to you. You will generally notice that your fears have exaggerated the consequences of this kind of behavior. You are sending signals to others that you have limits they cannot cross, that you have interests you are willing to defend or advance. You will find yourself getting rid of this constant anxiety about confronting people. You are no longer tied to this false niceness that wears on your nerves. The next battle will be easier. Your confidence in handling such moments of friction will grow with each encounter. In the hood, people don't have the luxury of worrying about whether people like them. Resources are limited. Everyone is angling for power and trying to get what they can. It is a rough game, and there's no room for being naive or waiting for good things to happen. You learn to take what you need and feel no guilt about it. If you have dreams and ambitions, you know that to realize them, you have to get active and make some noise, bruise a few people in your path, and you expect others to do the same to you. It is human nature, and instead of complaining, you simply must get better at protecting yourself.